Hi and welcome to my channel. It's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and I've finished the first panel of my Ever Moment. Now this is only a small one, this is only 20 by 20, but look at that. I am so impressed with how detailed that looks compared to, you know, how diamond paintings can look. That is the image that it was doing. Actually I have it on a paper form here. So that is the image, and that is it conveyed as the diamond painting. So it's time for me to kit up panel number 2. I'm doing them in order. I don't know why, because in effect this is probably the most exciting one. But yeah, I'm sticking 2 in order, and I'm going to do them 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is number 2. Now these are the diamonds from number 1. Because I bought these from the same seller at the same time, I am going to use these diamonds as well as the ones that came for this painting. I'm going to let them merge so that I'm not de-kitting as much as I could be. So the first thing I need to do is I need to get the labels ready for this so that I can see which diamonds I will be using once more. Let me cut this way first actually. I do that every time. I go to cut it off, it being the right way round, and then I have the tiniest bit of paper to deal with to cut the rest off. So let's get rid of the tiny first. And now I've got a bigger piece of paper to handle, to move things about. Get it lined up properly at the top. And make sure that I'm not going to lose any numbers. Now I probably will keep hold of that, but that's just because I'm keeping hold of the images like I did on the last one. So that's all cut straight. Now I need some scissors. This is where having stuff out on pegboards is a very big help. And I'm just going to trim off the top and the bottom so that the only pieces of paper I will be putting into my sticker maker are the pieces that I need making as a sticker. And then this is the sticker maker that I use. It's a Xyron sticker maker. It's their little tiny one. It was gifted to me by a wonderful subscriber and is used all the time, and I've missed off the top corner, but it should be enough for it to still stick. It's the only thing, when you feed it through, if it doesn't go through straight, what I can do actually, so all the remaining glue ends up on there, so I'm just going to dab that underneath the little bit of sticker that I've missed, and hopefully some of that will transfer across. I don't know whether it will work, but it is only a little bit. So now that is all stickered up, what I need to do is trim down them. I'm not trimming all the way so that they stay attached to the sticker sheet and I don't end up with lots of little bits of paper fluttering around on my desk. And I'm going to cut down them, and then first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see which of these colours in here from the old kit are also used in this one. Now the symbols are different from painting to painting on this, but as I say, the only reason I'm mixing up the diamonds is that they have come from the same seller on the same date. So the die lots aren't different. Even if you purchase from the same seller but have, you know, quite a gap between your orders, you can find that the colours, the die lots may be different. It's just not worth it. I only do this on very few paintings, but this is one of them. So when I go up to the first symbol, 159, I have that here. For this one, it's a letter F symbol. But for this next one, it's a little sort of I call it off, you know, like off a bow and arrow, the bottom part of an arrow. I don't even know if you'll be able to see it because it's very faint, but it's the bottom section of an arrow. So that one's the same. This one, again, is also a different symbol, but it's the same DMC number. So we'll get the old sticker bit off, put the new bit on. 161 is also the same. There is a lot of similar colours in these, there really is. I know when I've done my couple comparison, the image of the couple under the moon, which is another painting that I do like this because I purchased them all at the same time from the same seller. The numbers can be vastly different between paintings, but in these, they're not. They're very, very similar. The only thing, how many colours were in my other one? Let me just have a look how many were in this smaller. Oh, there was 29 in the smaller one as well. So let's see how many of them end up being the same. There's 29 in this one. The next one is 33 and the one after that is 36. So I wonder if this painting with 29 colours uses the same 29 colours or not. So far, they're all the same, though the symbols are different. So I am going to interchange. This one, the symbol is actually exactly the same, but I'm not going to confuse myself by not changing the sticker. So this one actually still is a dot, the same as it was before. But I'm not going to test myself with it. I'm just going to change the sticker. 413 is the same, but a different symbol. These stickers are fun. Look at my little pile of mess. See, look, get a nice little pile of mess to go with. 414, we're still using that one. Different symbol. I don't have to clean the bottles as much either as I would if I was de-kitting it and then kitting it back up. I can deal with all the gunk mess later. It can all be covered up for now. And I have varying amounts of diamonds left, but there has never been any point in this painting where I have thought I would not have enough diamonds so far, because Evermoment do tend to give you a lot extras, and I can imagine that my extras are going to get quite high by the time I finish this. I am checking off the DMC numbers. So far they are all the same. I'm not particularly looking at the symbols because I'm changing the sticker no matter what, so that I know I'm going down this list. But so far, they're all looking to be the same. Oh no, there we go, 699. That's not included in this one. Throws a spanner in the works. 823 is, but I actually need a gap, and 822 needs to go here because 823, sorry, needs to go over there because I've actually got two symbols that are needed in between. So I'll miss those two symbols because I know I've switched all of them. I'm going to put that one there so that I know I need to shuffle everything in a bit, but I'm going to see where I get to the point where I've got another number that I don't need. There must be at least another one. This one's 825, but I need this one. And I will just put these in because I'll scoot them up after. 930 I need. So far I've got one colour that I don't need in this painting. Before I'm done, I will check the others in case I can use them in a future panel. 931, yes. Thought we were going to end up with exactly the same colours then. So close, so close. Okay, 931. 932. That's a star that I can never draw. It's a good job I don't need to draw it when it comes to these. 934, yep. And I wouldn't mind that 699 that I've moved over here. In that other painting, I used 2 of these, and that was it. Only needed 2. Okay, 939, yep. So use a 939. 3024, I don't need that one. So there's another one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoot all these up, because I know I need those 2 blanks, and what I'll do is I'll tub them up now that they can go in their place. I'll pinch them from up here. 799, there we go. So we're over here now. 3747, yep, I need that one. So they are very, very similar, even if they're not exactly the same. 3752, which is good, because with this being a multi-panel, rather than being separate paintings of the same image, you would want a lot of the colours to be the same, because that means that you've got the same, you know, ambiance or shading across the painting. I completely understand that we've got a couple of new colours in there, because this painting has a really tall building that needs it. Let me, do you know what? I didn't look at that number properly. No, it's fine. It's the same one. I must have looked at it, but my brain's thinking, did I? Didn't I? I've just checked the other painting. It is the same DMC number. Yeah, you do want on a multi-panel the colours to sort of flow across them all. But you do understand when it does bring in other colours if you've got other elements in it. So in this one, I've got that really tall blue building. So I would expect to be using the same sort of colours in the water and in the sky, but I would expect a few different colours to come in for that building to shine properly, which is what the other 2 colours will be. Okay, 3860, and then 3861 is the same as well. So we've had 2 colours come out of this painting equation, and I've had 2 colours go in this multi-panel. So let me ditch my rubbish. This was probably a bad idea. I probably should have found something to put it on straight up. Just putting it in the little bin that hangs off my desk. I have bins everywhere. Not so much in rooms in the house, it all has to go in the kitchen bin, but in my craft room I have them everywhere. Okay, so what I want to check before I put these away is whether they come into the next 2 paintings at all. So 699 actually comes into this last painting, so I'm going to tuck it up there. And then 3024 actually comes into both paintings, so I'm going to tuck that up there as well. Last time I did put them up on my little shelf, but for this one I think I'm just going to tuck them in the far end out of the way. I don't need them now, but I will need them for future paintings, which is good. Keeps up with the consistency that they come up in paintings that I'm doing in the future. So now what I need to do, because in effect there is no dekitting, so it's not really a dekitting video, is it? Maybe I just won't put that in the title, is I need the diamonds for painting number 2, which is that one. And we'll get these diamonds, which came for this one, in with these. ready to go. I'm going to start with the bigger bags. So Evermoment do tend to do a mixture of big bags and small bags. So I need to pay attention to that as I'm doing it. See if I can spread these out so that I can see them. And then at least I can have a quick glance as to whether there's any small bags to go with the big ones. Just in case. So for example, 931, I have a big one and a small one, but they're not connected in any way. Okay, so they're spread out so that I can see them. I need my tray. There we go. So this is just a standard from AliExpress white tray. I'm going to use my new little pop-up bin that I got from Lou. Thank you, Lou. And then I'll start putting diamonds away. So I'm going to start with the big pack. So I've got a feeling we're going to end up with them not all fitting in tubs this time, because I've got so many left over from last time. I also have a small packet. Is the small packet going to go in as well? Oh yes. So we're safe for this one, though it's full. I don't think we will be for the next one. So 932, and by the time I get to the next panel, I'm going to have a lot more left over. So I've got one stuck over there. Do I have any more? Can't see any more off the top of my head, so I'm going to go for that one's done. But if you look, apart from the static, of course, they are exactly the same colour. I don't know if you can see that properly because of the static, but they are exactly the same shades. 3752. Obviously use a lot more of it in this painting than we did in the last one, so maybe this is what goes in the water. I don't know if it's a sea or an ocean or a bay there. Sydney? Is it a bay? I don't know. So we'll just call it water. Do we have any more? 3752? We do. So I've got two little packets as well. They should both fit in. Looked like we had a road colour there as well. That one again is pretty full, but they are the same shade considering it was full to about halfway up there. 160. This one is pretty full to start off with. Ooh. Okay. If there's any extra bags of this, I don't think we're getting this in. Is there any extra bags? No, that's 159. No. So far, so good. Okay, 825. Oh, we had hardly any of that in the last one. Looks like we have a bit more in this one. Again, the last one. Did it have? Yeah, it did have some of the water in it, but it didn't have a lot, and it didn't have a lot of sky. Whereas this one is, of course, a lot longer. Even though it is thinner, it's a lot longer, which means I reckon it's going to have a lot more. Okay, 415. Lots of grey and blue. And we also have some individual packets. I tell you though, since working on that first panel, it is so nice working on an Evermoment. It really, really is. I've always known it's been nice to work on an Evermoment, but there is just something about them that just make them so nice. Okay, so for this one, I do have 2 extra packets, but I don't think it's going to fit in. For now, I'm just going to put them to the side. I'm probably going to create a baggie for them, but I just want to see how many I end up with first. Okay, so that's all the big bags done. So now it's on to the little ones. We shouldn't have any problem. Obviously, these are just little accents. So some of these only have 1 bag, added to what was probably originally 1 bag, and it doesn't take up much room at all. 3, 3, 6. This is the one that stayed the same symbol. I don't know if it will all the way through. Some companies do multi-panels different. So some companies will do 1 set of symbols for the whole multi-panel. Obviously they're static on these, they're stuck in the lid. And that's from the last batch. Some companies will just do 1 chart for the whole of the canvas, and others, like Evermoment, have obviously charted each one differently, though the colours are the same or similar, which at least means the software must have sort of been the same. 6, 4, 8. Which is good because I don't want it to end up looking different. 799. This is one of the new colours for this painting, and I only have 1. So while it's a different colour to 699, we'll see if it ends up having any more squares than 2, because that's all the last one had. 414. Did I do this one before? I mustn't have done. Too many numbers are similar. Thought this was one I had a big bag of, but I think that was 415. I'm looking forward to dividing this canvas up though. I have an idea of how I want to divide it up. 747. I'm going to test it. I'm going to see if it will work. I'm going to test it with you guys on camera in a bit. Once all these diamonds are away. I'm still going to be using my Tiny Decisions app, but the way of dividing it up, I'm going to see if I can be a little bit more precise and if it works. Okay, so we've got a few more of this one. I've got a couple of other colours that I've got a big long strip of as well. Got a rogue brown diamond in that one, but it's jumped into the actual bottle, and there's a pink one as well. But I'll fish them out when I'm working on the painting. There's no point in me trying to fish them out now because I'll be tipping them all out in my tray at some point. 3861. And it was a nice confetti painting, the last one as well. I did enjoy those little strip sections that I did, splitting it up into 10. It made, because it was quite confetti-ish, even though I was sort of opening colours quite often, there was still enough of one colour. It wasn't like there was only 1 or 2 each time I did it. There was enough of a colour to be worth tipping it into the tray. And then there was the odd colour where I could just take the lid off my pot and just pop my pen in to fish one out. So it was a nice variety of the 2. Right, let's get rid of some of these with a few more bags. Just because then I know how many I'm going to have left over. And whether it's worth putting them into grip seal bags now, or whether I just sort out putting them into grip seal bags when I do the next one and I'm likely to have a lot more. That's what I'm sort of weighing up, is whether it's worth opening these now, considering the colour was in the last painting. Evermoment always send more. I'm not likely to touch them during the life of this painting, so I might just put them in my case and deal with them with the next painting, when I'm likely to have a lot more, or getting close to having a lot more that can be put into baggies. because the next few paintings have over 30 colours in, so they have a few more colours, between 3 and 5 more colours, I think. Okay, what else have we got that's long? 413. Another grey. We only have 3 though, it's not too many. Of those. This has actually been quite a quick, for considering it's a de-kitting and a kitting up, this is not taking too long, and I think that is because so many of the colours were the same, and the fact that some of the colours are reused later on in the painting means that I've not actually had to de-kit this painting at all. I'll have a mammoth de-kitting when I get to the last one, but I haven't had to de-kit this painting at all. It will all be a future experience. Oh, we've got another 336. This is what I mean by them sending separate bags. The last one was only a small bag, and the next one is just another small bag. They're not always together. And I've just sent one flying right off the back of my desk, which means it's gone right down the back of the desk. Oh no, it's not. It rebounded. It hit on the painting. Okay, that one can go in. I thought it had gone down the back of my desk, which there is only a sliver of a gap. And that is mainly because my desk is butted up against a brick wall. And of course, brick isn't even. It's a brick wall that's been painted, so I thought it had gone down there, which meant it's gone down behind my desk and everything that's under my desk. Not a chance I was going to try and find my diamond. It could live out the rest of its days there, because this room has recently been all pulled down and painted and new flooring down and everything. It is not having a revamp for many years to come. May get a touch up of some paint, but I don't think I'm up for pulling it all out. I think the desk can stay where it is. If I wanted to paint it again, I'd paint round it. There is too much stuff in this room. It's like a TARDIS. It's like when you take everything out of this room and the other room that it happens in, or other cupboard, should I say, considering my craft room is similar size to a cupboard, is my pantry. And if you take the stuff out of my craft room or out of my pantry, it explodes and fills a room that is like 5 times its size, if not more. And all of a sudden it fills it, and you're like, how on earth did it all fit in? And that's because in my craft room it is tucked. Every little inch of space, pretty much every single little inch of space is used. And I am constantly giving it little mini overhauls and little mini shuffles and little mini rearranges to make storing the items that are current and used a lot have the best place they can have, both for ease of access and to make the most use of the space for both. Okay, one more to go, 451. Okay, so that is all the diamonds bar those 2 that won't fit in. And as I say, I think that's because of what was left over and the fact that Evermoment give more. So what I'm going to do is, I was going to pop them in the case. Yeah, I will. I'll pop them in the case for the next time. And then they can just get used and paired up together when the next one is done. So that's all that done. Now I need to prep the canvas. So give me 1 tick and I'll be back. Okay, so I think I'm ready to divide up my canvas. We'll find out. The first thing I want to do is I do want to cut off the excess glue which only seems to be happening at the top and the bottom on this one. But I do want to just chop this off. So I'm just lining up my extremely old ruler. I think I even had this in high school. I won't tell me how many years that's been because it's been a lot. So score down there and hope that I've caught it. Yeah, it doesn't take a lot. Double-sided tape is like tissue paper. So think of just trying to cut through a piece of tissue. Doesn't take a lot. So that is the glue off that end overhang, and then I want to do the same on this. And then that's actually told me that this is the top end because I can see the building there, which will hopefully help me with dividing it up in a moment. So I score down for that piece of glue. Look, that's even coming off already. But I'm going to do it from one end. Oh, look at that. Love it when the tape just peels off like that. So much fun. Okay, so for dividing this up, I quite liked working on the strips. So what I thought I'd do was I'm going to see if I can actually see through the paper when I use my light pad. Now it is going to shine bright, but I can sort of see where the lines are. So what I did, I was kind of hoping that I could see it in blocks of 10, but even when I peel the cover paper back, I don't think I can see it in blocks of 10. So what I'll do is, let me think, if I do it in sort of 2 of these, so looking at the symbols on the actual top paper that you can see go up, of course, in rows, but I'm thinking a strip sort of that amount down might be nice. So excuse my head and if you end up seeing that in shot, because at the moment it's not pretty, but I don't go out. Okay, so if I now go up 2 more, I get to here and try and find the line, just so that I don't end up with as many gaps, though it's sort of working. It's not wow, but it's sort of working. Is that too big a gap? That's not a bad section. I'm a little bit off on some of them though. So maybe this light pad isn't helping as much. Is it very bright? I think maybe the lights over the top are a bit more bright than my light pad is. I can sort of see them, and then as soon as the ruler goes near them, I can't. So I'm just sort of going for the same sort of section and then using what I can see of the lines underneath, trying to get it on or around the line so that when I take each section off, it'll be a universal amount. And of course this top section is a lot tinier. Okay, didn't work as well as I expected, but it wasn't awful. So how many sections have I got? 1, 2, 3, we'll cut that twice, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've only got 9 sections on this one. These must be bigger. Yes, I only have 9. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm using my little mini blank stickers from the shop with a little diamond on. And I've got loads of these now because anything that didn't quite print right or we weren't quite happy with the alignment, I got them. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I am going to have the top section is going to be a lot smaller than the rest. In fact, the bottom section will be smaller as well. But that is because It's actually got that overhang little bit as well. And I'm just holding the diamond painting on a little bit of an angle just so that I can see. By letting it hang down, I can actually see where I've cut the lines. And the stickers do stick down properly. 5. This is just helping me to place them. 6. Can't get hold of it. I'm holding the sticker sheet properly. Where's my lines? There. 7. This is where daylight is a lot better than overhead light in seeing where your lines are in your canvas. Oop. These stickers do stick pretty well to the wax paper, considering what some are like. Some are worse than others, but it is wax paper, so it's never going to be perfect. But we've got 1 to 9. So let me get up my Tiny Decisions app. I was working on the other couple. So Ever Moment Part 1, of course, is all blacked out as it's been done. So I'm going to reset the wheel, which brings all my numbers back, but then I'm actually going to edit it. So I'm going to remove number 10, and then I'm going to change part 1 to be part 2. Then again, advert, 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 and then no, don't give me noises. Okay, so now I've changed it, so it's now Ever Moment Part 2, and it's got 1 to 9. I do know that I was going to sort of rename it as a 10 section painting, but the other one that I've got on the go, which is Couple, is actually 10 sections as well, so I can always rename that one to 10 sections. I don't mind if I've only got to add a couple of numbers or take off a couple of numbers. It's the likes of the 16 section. I don't want to delete them all down to 8 and then have to add them all again. So I've got one that's named 16 sections, which isn't being used at the moment, and it'll be used when I next have a painting that I divide into 16. But this one has ended up being 9. It's only 10 centimetres across and it's 40 down. But I think it will be nice to see it come up in strips. I'm quite liking the sort of thin strips that I had in the last one. I think even this one had 10 sections. This one had 10 sections, so they were only strips like, well, they were halfway, and it was only a strip like this, and then you'd get this bit, and then you'd get this bit. It was quite nice seeing it come together. So I'm hoping that this image, which is of course long and thin, did I number them the right way actually? Let me hold it up so that I hold it up to my lights. Yeah, I did. I just wanted to check I did number it up the right way. I wouldn't want to have done it all and turned it upside down. Now the only thing is, I think the symbols are the other way. Oh no, they're not. The symbols are this way, are the same direction as the painting. So the letter P is the letter P when you're holding the picture up the right way. I did wonder, because the key's on the side, if all the symbols would be that orientation, but they're not. All the better. So that's another one kitted up of my multi-panel. I am trying to be good and make sure that I mix this up along with other ones that I need to get done. However, I am excited to also get this finished so it can go up on the wall. But thank you so much for joining me today while I kit up my next part of my multi-panel, and I will speak to you all again soon.